That was home last night. Silver Creek campsite. Kind of weird right now. Hopefully they'll fix it. You have to hike in 1.2 miles and then hike back out. But maybe they'll get that sorted out in the near future here. There's one other person here I've not seen. Came in the dark, leaving in some daylight anyway. Much more proper bearing, especially if you don't have an earth sag. You might swat at it a bit and slow them down. Good morning, day 15. This is Silver Creek. Pretty easy water access here. So that's kind of nice. Gonna just filter a liter and a half. Silver Creek is looking pretty wimpy now. That's the extent of it. But I think it can ramp up. It's really windy up here. There's actually gale warnings on Lake Superior today with I think waves 6 to 8 feet. That's appropriate because my last name is Gale, spelled the same way. So I am gale force to be reckoned with. But yeah, she's really blowing. Pretty good trail. It's a little muddy, but we're getting along. And that's the second time in a camp that there's been someone else there already in their tent when I arrive and not out of their tent when I leave. Those are the smart people. They know how to do it. There is rain coming today. It looks like it's raining in Duluth right now, and there's a big, it's not just going to be a little event. And I had service up there, so I was able to see. It's heading this way now, but maybe these strong lake winds will keep it at bay, but I doubt it. So I expect in a few hours we'll be marching along in the rain. Grouse count today is 1. Grouse count yesterday ended up at 5 because even with the headlamp on, one jumped from a tree right above my head. They've been roosting. That'll pucker you up, that's for sure. Having that happen right above your head in the dark. But so the grouse count yesterday was 5. Today so far is 1. And on we go. Shock of all shockers. I did a mile in 20 minutes. Wow. Probably first other than the other roadblocks. And it looks like I'll be able to lay down some miles here. The reroute adds, give or take a couple. So, yeah, I was pretty broken yesterday, but everything's good today. My knees feel good. I didn't have any cramping last night. I was hitting the electrolytes hard. I even had electrolytes in my bottle for at night. I'd wake up and drink a little bit. And the bottom of my feet were a little sore last night, but they're good today. And so I'm very surprised that my knees aren't totally wrecked now, but they're doing good. So I think all the training and the last, of course, 14 days, 13 days has paid off. So onward we go. I did decide last night that I'm going to only go to Martin Road. I had originally thought about going all the way down to the bottom of Jay Cook. Martin Road is in Duluth, and that's the original trail, the original intention, and so the goal really is to hike from Duluth to Canada. And so I'm not looking at it as a failure at all, because I really wanted to do the Duluth section just because I had support there, and I thought, yeah, no problem. But it's taken me a lot longer to do this, and I do have a lot to do, and my resupplies, I would have to purchase some more stuff. So getting off in Martin is really doing the true spear hiking trail. I don't look at it as a compromise, and it's still been a very good challenge. And so it looks like I've probably got a little over 50 miles to go, and we'll take her from there. Oh, here comes a car. Just met a thru hiker, Will, doing the same thing as me from Canada to Martin Road on Duluth, and he's the first one that I've met going southbound. First time I've been past, but he was a young, sprightly young feller. He's on, I think he said he was on day 13. I'm on day 15, so hey, that's not bad. He maybe took a day off as well, I don't know. But he's planning on finishing a day before me as well. And so shout out to Will. Awesome job. And yeah, he was boogieing. And it's pretty windy up here, but no rain yet. So that's nice. Grouse count is still at 1. And trail's pretty dang friendly right now, so here we go. 200 miles in, and I think I just saw my first deer track right there. Let's see if we see some more. Nice staple paper on the tops. Try and keep the deer from browsing them out. All the oaks and pine in here. Stable, trying to let them grow. See how the leaves build up on my poles very steadily. And it only took me 14 days to figure this out because I've been removing it by hand. I guess I'm a little dim. Just go with it. No more muddy fingers, like I said. 14 days to figure that out. I don't know, NoPack. This has been a fantastic part of trail, just walking through this huge woods, and south of the railroad underpass, north in trail direction, but south in compass direction, toward Reeves Falls. It's just been this huge forest, and it's pretty well blazed, so I think this would be an awesome snowshoe spot. Snowshoe, at least part of this section that dropped down into these woods, and it's just beautiful. It would just go on forever and ever, and it's fairly flat. That's where I came from. Okay, the train trestle is, I don't know, kind of lame. It's cool. But here's something interesting. These are taconite pellets. So, if you ever wondered what taconite pellets look like, there they are. The person responsible for this section actually paved the trail. That's sweet. That's going above and beyond. Beautiful. Well, I'm almost to the Stewart River camp. And that's where I'm going to stay. I'm going to be getting there at about 2 in the afternoon, which is pretty dang early, but the next camp is 5-6 miles. I played that game yesterday. I'm going to do it again today. And I'm just going to take a nice afternoon off. The other consideration is that the gale force winds have been holding off the rain lately. But I don't know who's going to win that battle. So it'd be nice to get set up. And I really do need a break for the final push. I think tomorrow will be a big day. And then Sunday, it's Friday the October 13th today. So I think tomorrow will be a big day. And then Sunday will be a medium day, and then we'll finish up on Monday. And go from there. So I need a break. And there's an opportunity for one here, but it makes tomorrow a little longer. But that's all right. I'll be ready. The tread between the two, Stewart and Silver Creek, has been very friendly. The whole thing pretty much. Way different than yesterday. So coming in with about 12 miles at 2 o'clock. That's not too bad. Stewart River Camp, there's a registration. Looks awesome. It's right by the river. The grouse count today was 2, hiker count 1. So this is Stewart. A few pads here. I dropped mine over here, and I'm going to go look around a little more. But it looks fantastic, and the river is right there. So that's pretty sweet. I think I've been going at this camping and backpacking thing all wrong. This is the way to do it. It's 3 o'clock. Little nap. I got everything in here in case it starts raining. I'll just cook right out in my little vestibule there if I need to. It's pretty windy and cold. I don't think there'll be campfire tonight. Way too windy and a touch dry, so that wouldn't be good. But yeah, I think I've been doing this all wrong. Okay, playtime's over. Leaving the Stewart River at 6 in the morning. Gonna try and lay down some miles today. It's beautifully calm now after so windy yesterday, and very quiet. It's kind of peaceful. I don't know if you can see it, but the maple leaves have a little water on them, and they're just glowing. It's really pretty. Day 16 at 7:17. It's light out now. It's just been a beautiful, beautiful trail all through the forest. Been mostly uphill, but very gentle. Can walk it full steps, and very peaceful. Just awesome woods. The trail's beat down enough that it's easy enough to follow with the headlamp. I got off trail once, but I only went about 10 feet and then figured it out, and it was in a wet spot where things were kind of jumbled up. But you can see it's traveled enough that you can follow the trail easy. Haven't seen any deer. There's still no deer here. Haven't heard any scream at me. You know, again, in central Minnesota where I live, I would have seen dozens by now, or have them screaming at me on morning probably, or a dozen flags anyway, the white tails. But none up in here. I don't know if it's maybe because it's all maple. There's no oaks, and they love the acorn kind of areas, but quite surprising. But just a beautiful, beautiful morning, and able to walk toes forward, and really appreciating the Stewart hiking trail and all its different faces, all its different aspects. You know, the changes, and going from way up north and getting down further south, there's changes in pretty much everything. And kind of loving this. Nice trail, I'll tell you that. It's a good way to finish things off. Grouse number one. I'll let you in on a little trick for if you're having cramps in your legs or calves or thighs, that if you squirt hot sauce or something very spicy like mustard into your mouth, it'll tend to trigger your brain to not worry so much about that leg cramp, and it actually helps them go away. And I've tried it and it works. And I've heard that, you know, one of the biggest fears of a rock climber, you're up on the face of a cliff and your leg starts cramping up, and it's the leg you're using to hold yourself up. That's a big problem. And they'll carry packets of mustard or hot sauce and just squirt that into their mouth, try and get that cramp to go away. And it does seem to work. It's some kind of brain thing. So there's tip of the day, I guess. And I did not bring any, but I think next time I will throw a couple packs of hot sauce or mustard in my bag. And that way, if I'm having trouble at night, I only had trouble on day one, I haven't had a cramp since, but if I'm having trouble, give her a little squirt. Just got to meet two wonderful people back at the Ferguson campsite, Justine and Colleen. And now they've got this backpacking down to a science. And they're actually finishing up their last leg of the whole Stewart hiking trail. So they're going to be celebrating a little bit later today. But they've got this thing down. They actually said they'd be thanking me when they're having a beer later. They've got this thing down. I think their plan is awesome. So they come up once a year and do 4 or 5 days, 10 miles or so each day. So they kind of get to spend the morning, get into camp a little bit early. They actually had little plastic bottles of little plastic bottles that they fill with wine. They're made for it, and so when the wine's gone, there's like no wait. and they actually pack in a bottle of wine, have a little bit each night, and I thought that was awesome. And so what they've done is, this is their 6th year, and if you do the math, if they come in and do 4 to 5 days, probably 4 with a half on each end, you know, they put in 40 miles and do that for 6 years, you just completed the Superior Hiking Trail. And you did it, got to see the whole thing and enjoy it every year. And when they started, they didn't have any backpacking experience, or not a lot anyway, the way I understood it. And then they got to tweak their way and figure it all out along the way. And it took them 6 years, which is awesome. And they are much smarter than me. I mean, that's a no-brainer. They really enjoyed this trail, and I think they've got it down. So shout out to them. They're actually finishing today. They did not have trail names, and if they choose to take them, I've thought of a trail name that I think may be fitting, and I would give them trail names because they've absolutely earned it. Wine Thing 1 and Wine Thing 2. So there you go. It's your choice, and the march goes on. But yeah, I think I've been doing this all wrong. Surprisingly, I'm not caught up to Will. Okay, not surprisingly. But shout out to him. He's going to finish the thru hike tomorrow. Canada to Duluth. And since I'm handing out trail names, he would probably never see this video because he's young and would never sit through this amount of whatever it is. Anyway, if you know Will, or if Will happens to see this, I think an appropriate trail name would be Power. And I think you can get the play on words there, but that's what it takes to do this trail in 15 days. Pretty dang awesome. So shout out to Will. What an awesome morning. We've been going by this little pond. This area was logged in 2005 and replanted with white spruce. So these little pines are almost 20 years old. You'll be able to see more coming up here. So yesterday I had the option of doing 12 miles or 18 miles. And I'd already had a hard day. And my legs and I, we're two separate entities now because they disowned me. Decided that we needed a break. And so I laid up knowing that I'd put in a long day today, but also knowing that we both needed a break, and it did us really a lot of good. Got into camp at 2, did all the chores, and today feeling great. Right, legs? No, still not talking to me. Well, they can't go anywhere without me, so. Anyhow, today's gonna be a longer day, however long it takes. I want to put in about 20, the way the camps are set up. And so far so good. Just kind of motoring along. I have no clue how far I've come or how far I have left to go. It just doesn't matter. Had a really good visit earlier. And Maybe setting up in the daylight, maybe setting up in the dark. At this point, I don't care. We're just motoring down the trail. Can't believe these trees are 20 years old. They're not all that big. I just got counted. It's a little counter box. First one I've seen, actually. Very handy for knowing how much a trail is being used, and can dedicate resources here and there depending on that. Good tool for managers. I don't know whose box that was. Maybe we're coming into a, I have no idea actually, but it looked like a state park box. I've seen them before, but I don't know. But anyway, just got counted. You can see the lake way out there, long ways, and a lot of country that way. Here I come. So I was going to talk a little bit about, they did extend the Superior hiking trail from Martin Road all the way down to the bottom of Jay Cook in Wisconsin. And probably part of the reason was to hook up with the North Country Trail, which comes out of Wisconsin and goes all the way up Superior Hiking Trail and then keeps going. It starts in like way out in Vermont or someplace, and it goes all the way up into North Dakota. I have no clue. It's like over 4,000 miles long, so that's something. And but anyway, they extended the trail down to Wisconsin, and it goes right through Duluth. And I've decided to stop at Martin Road, mainly because I've seen all the things in Duluth already. Go there often. I even have hiked all of the Jay Cook part from the bottom all the way up to Munger Trail and then down to the state park and across the swing bridge and all the way back down to the road, which is, I did it for training for Colorado Trail. And to get back to my car, I think the whole thing came in at around 19 miles, so pretty healthy chunk and good training. Anyway, people maybe think I don't want to hike through a city, but it's really not like that at all. You get to hike along the lake walk and go into Canal Park, which is a really cool area. I've spent a lot of time there. And then you hike up to the ridge, and there's a cool park up there with bell and tower and all kinds of cool things. But a lot of the walk through Duluth is in parks that you would never even know you're in a city. And I'm not talking mowed parks, I'm talking treed, trailed parks. And you just go miles and miles and miles, and you don't even know you're in a city, other than glimpsing a house now and then, or a really good view down of the lake and the ports of Duluth and that kind of stuff. So anyway, if you haven't done it or haven't spent time there, it's very worthy, and it's not like you're hoofing it through a downtown metropolitan city. It's Duluth is really an awesome, more urban-like, or I don't even know. It's just got a lot of nice parks and throughout, and it's up to you whether you want to do the whole thing. Ooh, grass number 7 just took off, and so that's a little bit about the Duluth part. Don't think of it as a city. It's got some really cool features, and it really is a cool city. You'll at least visit sometime. I mentioned Canal Park a moment ago, and I just wanted to say that it's not actually a park per se. It's an area. It's where the ore boats come in into the port of Duluth, but it's also restaurants, breweries, hotels, and a very cool place to visit. And it would be a really cool place to take a Nero or a Zero as you trek, if you're gonna go all the way to the southern terminus, or are coming up from that way. Yeah, good restaurants, good food, breweries after you take a shower. I just met a fellow that he's doing a day hike, and the way he's doing the trail is he'll park at a trailhead, and then he'll hike to the next trailhead, and then he'll hike back to his car. And then the next time he would park at the trailhead that he hiked to, go to the next one, and that's what he's doing. I'm not sure all the trailheads are close enough, but he's working it out, and there's a lot of ways to do this trail, and that's his way, and it seems to be working out for him. He looked like he was enjoying it immensely. I say if you do it that way, you've actually hiked the trail twice. Oh, this is one of the bigger sites I've seen. A lot of room here. Can hear the river. If I was 3 inches taller, I'd be finishing today. I've been seeing a lot of juncos. There's a flock flying in front of me. I don't know if you can see them or not. Little flashes of white. You start seeing them. Winter is coming. 2.5 miles to go to get my 20 in. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in the daylight. Day 16, October 18th, I believe. About 2.5 miles from camp. Just came up kind of a long hill. The tread has been really nice all day long. Could really boogie. Had to, and it's been very friendly. A lot of ups and downs, but nothing too severe at all. And pretty much walking full steps all day. So I'm going to be getting to camp at a real decent time for putting in 20 miles. Walked an hour in the dark this morning. Grouse count is at 11. So hopefully that will go to 12 or maybe 13 for a new record, but we'll see. Gotta look down there. No moose. So it's mostly downhill or flat from here. I kind of had to look to see where I was because I was starting to feel it. And so I don't usually want to know, but come to the point where I had to check just to see, because so I could gauge my pace and steps so I'd be able to get it done. Now I know I can take a little pace off and I'll still get an hour or more of daylight in camp. I think it's mostly down with that. And then the fact that it's only 2.5 miles is put a pep in my step too. Oh, look at that. It's actually pretty. Here I come. Okay, we just got grouse number 12 on the day. So we just need one more to break the trail record from day 1. And we got a little less than 2 miles to do it. So let's go, Mr. Grouse. Mrs. Grouse, where are you hiding? It's the down under beaver pond. You can't tell up from down. Can you hear that? My hip just started creaking last mile or so. That's probably not good. If you meet a group of hikers, I was kind of going down a slight incline and I met a group of hikers, day hiking, evening hiking, and they said, oh, you're really going to enjoy the next mile and a half down to Fox Pond. I'm like, sweet. Well, they enjoyed the mile and a half because it was pretty much downhill the whole way from them. And it's been pretty much uphill ever since I saw them, but it is a nice section. But yeah, it depends on your perspective and which way you're going, I guess. It hasn't been very hard uphill. Carefully, young man. But steady. And yep. What the? I'm an old man. Why would you tease me like that? I gotta start paying closer attention to those little lines on the map. Because I think I had this read pretty wrong. Uppity, uppity, up. There she is. Camp. So that just happened. 20 miles, it's 4:45. There it is. Home sweet home. She ain't much, but ooh, I see niceness. Home sweet home. Good day. Remember the little gray bag? I think this is about all we haven't covered. I actually didn't even know what was in there myself. I kind of just keep stuff I might need, and hopefully if I need something, I'll find it in there. And in this case I did. I found some tie wraps to fix my hip, hopefully. And there's some little tie wraps in there as well. Just drop this stuff out. Extra shoelaces, extra straps, meaning extra weight, but not much. Here's some more laces. Never know when you're gonna need them. This is like, both these things are like Velcro. You can tighten them, so who knows? Maybe if I pulled a muscle or something or needed to hold something, extra weight, a couple of glow sticks. The glue I used to repair my pad, which is holding, by the way, so that's awesome. This is a head net for mosquitoes, not needed this time of year. Extra weight. Oh, this is good stuff. Stops bleeding. You only use this if you're really desperate, and it's like just stops bleeding. And it's sponsored by Lou Ferrigno, so you know it works. Moleskin. Never use it. Repair kit. Didn't know I had it. That'd be handy if I have another problem with my pad. Extra dry sack. This actually came with the tent. And this goes down in a pocket in my backpack, actually, not in that bag. And in this, I got some Luco tape. What else is in here? Earplugs. Dang handy if you're in a busy camp, or if animals bug you, just pop them in and forget about life. They're awesome. A note card and pen in case I have something to say, but I usually don't. A couple extra caps. Don't know why I got them. More earplugs. Band-aids. Oh, crap load of them. These are special for if you're really having foot problems. It's like a layer of skin. I haven't had to use them because I've never had a blister. Thank you. Speed Goats and Right Socks, WRIGHC. But I did share these with people on the Colorado Trail, and they seem to work. These are some tablets to put in water, which I've never done. Got some cortisone. Got some Neosporin. Got some 100% DEET, which I don't need this time of year, but hey, 100%. I used this in Colorado, and it worked pretty dang good. This is a third lighter, a little more of the old school kind, which I don't buy anymore. What else? Floss, more Band-Aids, another ring for my water filter, so that makes 2 extra weight, and chapstick, and then I've got black tape wrapped around that in case I need it. So I think that's about it for that little bag, and I haven't used one single thing out of it yet, but you never know. Oh, I did today. I used the tie straps, so good thing I had them. Today was a hard day. Got up way before the sun, walked with headlamp for an hour, and boogied all day. Very good tread. Got 20 in. Now I'm cooking dinner. And then I'm gonna go to bed. But as hard as it was, it's a beautiful night. Beautiful area, and very satisfying to complete a hard day like this. Feet hurt, ready to hit the hay, but did something today. It's not like every other day. One thing that happens out here is, I mean, this is good food, but I don't want to eat. You really kind of lose your appetite even for good stuff, but you just have to force yourself. I don't really want to eat this one bit, but I'm going to eat it all. And you end up forcing yourself to eat and drink, which seems odd, but you got to do it because you really don't want to, but you need it.